to the side. You'd better run and hide. More to the side. Everybody wants to stay alive. Set to the side. You'd better run and hide. More to the side. Everybody wants to stay alive.
What is your major malfunction?
Welcome to the Chab Dog Sports Talk Radio Show. Sunday mornings live from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific. Where spontaneous sports talk, rated R.
Don't make a fuck out of me.
Host Brandon Chabner and producer Eric the Well-Read bring you Brian from Sports Rock.
Say hello to my little friend.
And Tank's West Coast godbrother, Abe Miranda.
When they play like shit, what are you gonna do?
And the Well-Read's better half, the wacky hot mess.
Fucking douche.
Plus special guests, music, movie clips, comedy.
So fat, the blood type is ragu.
And always a little politics.
It comes from China.
The live call-in number is 252-585-4120. Join in the fun.
Hello.
And now, here's your host, Chab Dog.
Thank you.
All right, I'm in the mood to party. It's 4th of July. This is the Chab Dog Sports Talk Show, the Delta Deviants Spring Training in July show, and we got a lot of good stuff for you today. This is Brandon Chabner, Chab Dog. Come to you each Sunday from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific Time. Brought to you by Chabner Law, serving Southern California's transactional and business legal needs, and by chabdog.com for your sports headlines, biting sports commentary. And we just eased over the first half of the year. Now we're going to have a good time barbecuing and enjoying ourselves today, and kind of a soft landing into a long week, the end of a long weekend on Monday. I always like that. It's a little weird because it's like you're being given a gift by the calendar, but and then you come into the next week and everything's kind of compressed, and then that adds to the pressure. But it's still worth it. It's still always worth it to have a nice long weekend. Make Sunday that much more relaxing. So how are you, Eric? I'm here with my co-host, Eric Sauve.
Hey, Chab Dog.
Well-Read Productions. And you got a Herculean task today. You got to figure out how all these clips I sent you fit together. It's like it's like putting together a puzzle. Do you ever do puzzles, Eric?
Not in years, Chab Dog.
You have he has a very analytical mind. I would think you'd be good at putting together puzzles. You're kind of patient. I'm not as patient as he is.
Well, here's what I got to work with today. We've got Ronald Reagan roasting Frank Sinatra. Phyllis Diller going on for 5 minutes about being fat, about fat people.
Yeah.
Followed by a clip from Silencer, movie Silencer, which I hadn't even heard of, from 1966 with Dean Martin. We've got some clips from Gangs of New York, Beyond the Sea, Copland. We got a tribute to Marv Albert coming up. Of course, some clips from Animal House, given this is the Delta Deviant show.
Yeah.
Cute clip from Popeye with Robin Williams there, his version of it. Some great clips from Ace Ventura, Meatballs with some competitive eating, Dodgeball,
yes.
The Water Boy, Bobby Boucher, and then Don Sutton, some intel on a Don Sutton-Steve Garvey fight that occurred in New York.
Right. That was one of the best clubhouse fights, I'd say.
Yeah.
Between, two really high-profile players. One's in the Hall of Fame. One should be, in my opinion. And they were the heart and soul of the 1970s Dodgers.
Well, we can't talk about Garvey without talking about him pumping chicks.
No.
So this will all be coming up today on the Chab Dog Sports Talk Show.
Popeye pumping.
But
I missed that swing he had where he, would get into the batter's box and the bat would kind of wiggle down, chop it down, and you could see his huge forearms.
Mm-hmm.
And he just looked so robotic.
Mm. But Popeye or Steve Garvey?
What?
Is Popeye or Steve Garvey you're talking about?
Steve Garvey.
Oh, Garvey. Okay.
They called him Popeye.
Oh, because he's okay.
Because of his forearms.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he looked like Popeye.
Don't you remember that?
Like Popeye pumping olive oil. Okay. Well, but
yeah, I could see
Chabdog,
that.
we've got
I could see him doing Robin
co-host Abe Miranda's.
Yes, we have Abe Miranda on the line.
The story out of New York.
You're calling in bright and early, all chipper and ready to go. How are you? Are you calling from the East Coast?
Yes, I am. I'm actually right here I'm here in New Jersey. We're taking an Uber right now, Frank the Tank and I from Barstool Sports.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're heading over to Yankee Stadium right now for a doubleheader.
Oh, that's right.
Because originally our game got postponed when we initially went on Friday.
Oh.
And so we're headed to the game right now. And,
so, Abe,
we're very excited.
Tell us about Friday night when we were watching there when the game got rained out, and then what? How long? Like everyone just decided to turn on Tank, and Tank was thousands of people taking selfies.
He became the main attraction.
He became the main attraction. What was that like? Being with a celebrity.
Oh, you know what? Let me tell you something. First of all, I just wanted to wish everybody a happy 4th of July and just throw my love out here for the Chabdog Sports family.
Thank you.
And as always, it's such an honor to be part of this group here and to have such incredible fans. So, but I just wanted to let you guys know that from the moment we were even in the security line at Yankee Stadium, people were already kind of starting to mob him. And once we got in the stadium, people started mobbing him. I mean, it took literally about an hour to get to our seats from the gate, just because he was getting mobbed, and the game hadn't even started yet. And then because it was rain delay, and it was raining when we got there, everybody headed towards the concession area. And of course, Frank, we were hungry. We had planned on stopping at the concession, and of course, it was just pandemonium. Because it was just literally every couple seconds, somebody was just taking photos of him, and then we just started having a crowd, and then we started having a line, and so I mean, you know what? At the end of the day, let me tell you something. There wasn't anything else going on, and so why not give the fans what they want? They want Frank the Tank? Well, here, have Frank the Tank.
What was he wearing?
So that's kind of like, it's like we just Frank's a man of the people, and he and he was a good sport about it. And even though it took us 2 hours to go get a hot dog, we had a lot of fun, and of course. Then we're sitting in our section, and then we have all these fans that are, on the deck above us, and they're screaming his name. And so, of course, he gets up and he starts waving at them because, they're just yelling at him. They're yelling at him. There's no game. There's nothing. There's no players on the field. There's nothing to distract them. And so, of course, it's just all about Frank the Tank. And so he stands up, he waves at the crowd, and I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. And I filmed it. And as I filmed it, I tweeted it, and then since then, I know Dave Portnoy, he quoted the tweet. I know Viva La Stool, they tweeted out the video, and then it's just been pandemonium since then. I mean, we were just driving on the street. I'm going to tell you guys this beautiful story. We were just driving to the train station, and we're on the road, and Frank's getting honked at, from behind. And we're looking, and we're like, it's a stop sign. What's going on, guys? Like, what's up? And it's just people rolling down their windows, yelling Frank the Tank. It was nothing more than just somebody happened to see, just wanted to yell Frank the Tank and just, fist pumping in the air. And so and Frank was just in shock. He was like, I don't think that's ever happened to me before. He's like, where I'm driving, people are literally just, honking at him.
Abe, you know who was there? All these people from New York were there.
Can you hear me?
All these people were. Here's who was.
Here's the description of the neighborhoods there you're going through.
Bowery Boys.
Bowery Boys.
Bowery District.
5 pints. Paradise Square. Streets here are always lively of an evening.
Who are the gangs around now?
We've got the Daybreak Boys and the Swamp Angels. They work the river looting ships. The Frog Hollow Shanghai sailors down around the bloody angle. Short Tails was rough for a while, but they become a bunch of jack-rolling dandies, lolling around Murderer's Alley looking like Chinamen. Hellcat Maggie, she tried to open her own grog shop, but she drunk up all her own liquor and got thrown out on the street.
Beautiful.
Now she's on the lay for anything. There's the Plug Uglies, they're from somewhere deep in the old country. Got their own language, no one understands what they're saying. They love to fight the cops. And the Nightwalkers, the rag pickers row. They work on their backs and kill with their hands. They're so scurvy under the Plug Uglies to talk to them. But who knows what they're saying. The Slaughterhousers and the Broadway Twisters. They're a fine bunch of bingo bullies. And the Little 40 Thieves. I used to run with them for a while, till they got took over by Bendrick the Cockroach and his red-eyed buggers. Bendrick carries a germ. If you try to leave the gang, they say he hacks up blood on you.
The line juicers are nothing but a bunch of rapacious grab-ups.
The true blue Americans call themselves a gang, but all they really do is stand around on corners damning England.
One word that the British say.
Did any of them got the sand of the dead rabbits?
You don't say that name. That name died with you. They've been outlawed.
When I was in the blockhouse, the Chinks told me that the natives celebrate their victory every year. Is that true?
Aye, that they do. It's quite the affair. The butcher himself's got to invite you or you don't go.
It's great.
That's the neighborhoods of New York there, and these are the children of these people here from a century ago are the ones that are tank fans today.
That's right. You had some pug uglies and some Broadway twisters.
Yeah.
And the, I don't know, anyway.
Maybe even had some police officers coming up and recognizing Tank on the street when you were by that accident a couple days ago, too.
If the Mets ever win it, like if they get to the World Series, his popularity and visibility is just going through the roof.
It just continues to grow.
Yeah. So go on.
Okay. Let's go back to the beginning here. You got to tell us a little bit about Rutt's Hut. What was your experience there?
Well, I've been to Rutt's Huts a couple times. Been to Rutt's Huts. Maybe this is about my third or fourth time. I don't want to say it's probably my third time that I've been to Rutt's Huts. And every time I come, I make a special request to Frank. Can we go to Rutt's Huts? And in this case, I didn't even have to ask. It was literally like the first place we went to was Rutt's Huts. And of course, we go in, and I always kind of forget what I'm supposed to order because it's always it's been a long time. And so the guy's always the guy behind the counter is always nice. He goes, hey, get the rippers, get this, and get the relish, get the mustard, and then I said, well, how's the chili? And he goes, oh, we don't actually put it on the dog, we put it on the cup. Mm-hmm. And he goes, but get the cup, put the chili, get the relish, get the mustard in there, mix it all together, put it on your hot dog.
Oh man!
He goes, and you're going to, and trust me, you're going to love that. So I did that. So Frank and I, we got our hot dogs, we went to the counter, and it was funny because it was packed as always, and so the owner, one of the owners behind the counter goes, so how did you like the combination? Of course, me being me, I get on my knees, I start bowing to the guys, and I go, you know what, I'm not worthy of this hot dog, and it was kind of funny, everybody was chuckling at the Rutt's Huts, and everybody was having a good time, and after a day like that, you just, you're like, okay, I'm pretty much checked out for the day.
Well, how many did you have?
Everything that I want to do.
Yeah, how many did
you
have?
It was great.
How many did you have?
Actually, I only had 2 dogs. A lot of people maybe think Frank had 6 hot dogs or something, but he had 2 hot dogs too. He had 2 hot dogs.
And his were totally raw. He didn't have any.
He raw dogged it, and I put the relish and I put chili. I didn't put the mustard, but I did the relish and the chili, and it was really, really, really good. So I left it a little mysterious. So at least the next time I come, I'll put the mustard, the chili, and the relish on there. So I kind of left a little hole there for, hey, for next time. And it's always a little nice to, that way you get a little different experience.
To win the competition, you boys going to have to eat more than 2
each. 2 dogs just isn't going to cut it. I had 3 myself.
You know what they're saying?
Bill Murray's got an opinion on this here.
This is the year that Fink beats the stomach.
No, it's a couple of guys over here.
That really
They're
is the
saying
prime food, the stuff in your mouth.
No! Save it.
This is. Do you remember this
Save
scene
it for
from
this
Meatballs? Yeah. Here comes the stomach. Great music. I don't want to tell you what I weighed in this.
No mustard?
Okay, hands up.
Yeah. Raw
You guys
dog.
know the rules. You got 5 minutes.
This is really
After
raw
the wings
dogging
don't
it.
count. May the best man win. Ready? Set.
Does it really help having somebody rub your stomach like that?
Come on, you gotta want it, Larry. You gotta want it. This is your year. Every day, I'm eating more and more hot dogs. Come on, pace, baby. Left, swallow, right, swallow. Thank God, Larry. You gotta want it.
Stuffing him into his
Stomach's
face.
worried, Larry. He doesn't want it bad enough.
The stomach is getting worried.
Come on, Bink. This is weedy war. To eat. Come on, stretch that stomach, Bink. Come on, eat, Bink. Eat. Eat. Please. Please, Bink, please. Larry. Come on. Eat, Bink. Eat.
10 minutes are up.
All right.
The winner.
Fat kid one. Got it.
Yeah. Larry.
Yes,
Fish.
Abe.
I just wanted to let you guys know we are on Uber, and because it's quiet and Frank's not getting mobbed, Frank the Tank from Barstool Sports would like to chime in real quick.
I want to say hello to him. Go ahead.
All right. Happy 4th of July. How's everything going?
Oh man, it's great. Now we got to talk to you. We're doing some great stuff with your god brother Abe on the West Coast, and it's just nice to have you on, Frank. I want to congratulate you on getting the Phoenix Suns right, and they're now in the finals. Do you have them beating the Bucks?
Yeah. Giannis is not healthy, and basically, the Suns got lucky. They're the team that remained the healthiest in this ridiculous NBA season. Why they played so many games is ridiculous. Why this season? You know, if the NBA Finals go 7 games, and then July 22nd.
Yeah, that's not right.
I don't want to watch basketball.
Right.
Nobody is going to watch this final. There might actually be test patterns that get better ratings in this matchup.
Particularly now that there's no Giannis.
There's not the Suns in 5.
Yeah, there's not enough TV sets in Phoenix to keep
Well,
the
you
ratings
heard it.
high.
The man's hot now.
Now, Tank, the Montreal Canadiens are down 0-3 against Tampa.
That series is over tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But in the history of Stanley Cup Finals, has any team? How many?
From
do you remember
3-0?
any teams ever coming back from 3-0?
I think no, right?
1942 Toronto Maple Leafs against the
See,
Detroit Red
got
Wings.
it. He got it.
So okay, the Maple Leafs did it once, so it is possible.
Yeah, and the Maple Leafs did it to who? The Canadians?
Red Wings.
Red Wings.
Okay.
Oh.
We miss you, Tank, because only you
Yes.
know stuff like that.
I'm only getting partially.
I was watching Game 3 with Jose Theodore and Scott Gomez and Ryan Whitney and Paul Bissonnette, and it was just it's just been an ugly finals. It's over tomorrow. I don't see the Canadians have just been outclassed. It's over.
Right.
The Lightning are going to win. It's over.
Well, I had that one right.
Yeah,
I mean,
Chab called that
they,
one.
They
I got
looked
that wrong. They
I
just
could
look
tell after
outclassed.
that
It's a
first
shame.
series in the playoffs.
I thought Carey Price could keep them in the series, maybe make it interesting, but that's not what happened. And it's not an interesting series. The Canadiens do not belong on the same ice as the Lightning. The Canadiens got lucky because the Maple Leafs are just a choking franchise.
Yeah.
The Jets are sorry, and the Vegas Golden Knights had some injuries and
Yeah,
basically choked.
they were spent. Yeah, when a team gets a hot goaltender like that, a lot of other things that are maybe not as good about the team get obscured, and I think.
I mean, the Lightning have had a hot goalie too, and
Right. The guy with the V in his name. Yeah, I can't pronounce it, but
Vasilevsky, Andrei Vasilevsky.
Oh, well done. Vasilevsky.
Yeah. So they'll have two now in a row, so they're kind of becoming a dynasty.
Yep.
And the second best team is probably the Islanders.
Yeah, you could say that.
Poor Islanders. They ran into the same problem last year. They just couldn't get by the Lightning. So maybe this is just their tune-up.
Well, the Islanders can certainly hope so.
Well, the Islanders getting a new arena next year. Watch out for them. They're going to be really good.
Okay, they're moving. Are they going to stay in Nassau?
Uniondale.
No, they're not. Well, I think it's still Nassau County technically.
Yeah,
okay,
but not the Coliseum anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting a new arena. It's going to be right next to Belmont Park.
Oh, nice. That makes a lot of sense. New York's got a lot of money, and they can definitely. This hockey team could make do well there.
Yep.
So Tank, my wife and I was married 6 months ago. So my new wife, my new bride, I introduced her to you last October when we started dating.
The
Wacky Hot Mess, and she fell madly in love with you, and is probably one of your biggest fans today.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, she's been listening.
My
to
wife thinks
the
you're
hot
funny.
dog hats.
My wife thinks you're funny too, Frank. I just want you to know that.
The cooking shows, Tank cooks. She loves your Tank cooks too. So I just wanted to give a plug out.
You seem to appeal to
love
the
there
Kansas
from my,
City demographic,
my wife, my bride.
the Kansas City female.
And I want to turn all this positive energy to negativity. Let's talk about the Mets.
Well, you can talk now.
They're pitching, but their hitting is just atrocious.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter when you got pitching, that good. Come on.
The ground's ERA is just microscopic.
They just leave too many men on base all the time.
I've seen you singing the praises of Dom Smith this year. What's wrong?
He's just not hit. He's like everyone else on the team.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't hit.
And does the training staff have anything to do with this anymore, or are they found new ways to have problems?
Well, they've had 18 injuries, so probably the training staff is still terrible.
Mm-hmm. So, what's the difference between a Steve Cohen-owned team and the non-Steve Cohen-owned team? Anything yet?
They haven't quite exercised all the demons of the Wilpons.
Mm-hmm.
The Wilponzies.
Yeah, and they are, and to their credit, they were getting all that sexual harassment stuff, allegations, people who were associated in the previous years out of the woodwork.
Yep.
Firing people in the head office. They caught some big names there.
Who was sexually assaulted? It was like the Redskins scandal?
Yeah, the Redskins scandal. Well, it's the Washington football team. It's not the Redskins anymore.
Yeah, but they were the Redskins at the time, right?
You don't blame this on the Redskins. It's all Dan Snyder's
fault. I didn't know the details, but it sounds like it was female employees being.
Tank, you been following what's going on in Washington?
No, I'm talking about the George Washington Bridge. There's a lot of bridges on the George Washington Bridge.
A lot of bridges on the bridge.
Boats going under the George Washington Bridge.
Oh,
why?
Okay.
It's just a boat parade?
Oh, it's the 4th of July. Got to be for that, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, God, die. Yeah, of course.
They're doing a regatta.
Yeah.
But
so, Tank, do you miss the courthouse at all?
I mean, at least the Mets are better than the Yankees. The Yankees are a total mess.
Oh, yes.
Aaron Buffoon is just totally lost as manager.
Aaron Buffoon. He's as bad at managing as he is as a sportscaster.
Is he finished this year? Is this his final year managing?
I mean, this is obscene the way they're pitching.
He's the shield that protects people from criticizing Brian Cashman. So as long as Brian Cashman,
The rats are shooting through his phone line again.
This is the Yankees are looking.
Oh, they gotta fire him.
They're looking as bad as they were in like the late '60s, early '70s.
Yeah, the ghost of Steinbrenner's got to fire him. You still there, or did one of the? I think he's going through. Oh, we lost him.
Okay. They must have gone through a tunnel.
Mm-hmm. They must have gone through the George Washington tunnel.
Yeah. So this will be a show just with you and me, and I don't know. I was hoping Drew would call in so we could gloat about the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, first time since 1974. Apparently, the Bucks make it.
Yeah, to the finals.
To the finals.
That's right.
And they have to meet the Suns. The Suns, first time since what?
93.
93.
Yeah, when they had Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
Oh,
here we go.
He's calling back. Oh,
yeah,
we lost you.
I think we lost you in the George Washington tunnel.
Yeah, we're sorry. You know, this is one of those. Those are one of those things. Where just we're heading to Yankee Stadium, so we might drop you out. So, but we're back on. Yeah, as soon as you get over to Washington Bridge, there's this apartment complex, and it's just like you go under it, and I guess there's no signal under there. It's kind of weird.
They didn't pay their bill.
Yeah, they didn't pay the bill. Oh, Tank, what's the weirdness been like in New York over the last 12 months? I mean, you've lived there for a gazillion years. Is it from the media we see in L.A., is it really as out of hand as it appears?
It's starting to come back to life.
Okay.
I mean, it was eerie for a while.
Mm-hmm. But now more people on the streets, more people in the restaurants, the bars are full again.
Yeah.
It's like it's back to regular New York City where, you're safe in the crowd because there's a crowd everywhere.
Yep.
Crowds on Broadway.
Well, Broadway hasn't opened yet.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll be exciting when that happens, but at least at Times Square.
Broadway reopens.
Reopens when?
Well, yes, Broadway has no Tonys.
Sounds like the submarines.
Yeah, Frank's back in his submarine. Submarine days. This is great, Tank. It's like memory lane.
Yeah.
So
I was down to shore yesterday, and that was pretty. The shore was not as packed as it would normally be, because it was a kind of a chilly day. Chilly, it was cloudy, rainy. Not too rainy though. It wasn't raining too much, but it was cloudy and intermittent drizzle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw some beautiful pictures of you and Abe walking along the boardwalk there.
Yeah.
In Atlantic City?
No, on the shore. Down on the shore.
Yeah. So you're not going to Atlantic City, right?
No, that got postponed because the Met game on Friday got rained out.
Yeah.
So now it's going to the game now, and we decided, what the hell? If we're here for a doubleheader today, might as well hang around for a couple hours and then get to the second game too.
Yeah, will these be 2 7-inning games, Tank?
2 7-inning games. Yeah.
Okay. Does it look like this is? Are they going to keep this around? The 7-inning thing beyond this year?
I think this rule will become permanent after this year.
And what's your opinion of it? Do you like thumbs up, thumbs down?
It's grown on me a little bit, but they got to do something about the no-hitter rule. If someone throws a no-hitter in a 7-inning game, then it should count as a no-hitter.
Yeah, I agree.
Innings,
like what the hell? They're not considering that a no-hitter?
Nope.
That's retarded, man.
It's not fair to the folks.
Would they say you don't have a complete game if you throw a complete game in a 7-inning game?
They call it a complete game.
Uh-huh.
So what's the logic in differentiating that from the no-hitter?
Logic?
Yeah, why have logic come into the equation?
Have any logic?
No, not if they just leave the Houston Astros.
The guy is banning sticky stuff. In the middle of a season, these pitchers are like losing their mind.
Right. I have to undress in front of everybody.
Meanwhile, he deadened the ball because the ball was flying out too fast and raised the seams a little bit, which has caused the pitchers to take their dominance. He's thinking about moving the mound back.
This is Commissioner Manfrog.
He doesn't like the American and National Leagues. He wants to get rid of that. He's gotten rid of all the
Oh my God!
Yeah, he wants to have East and West.
This guy has got to be stopped.
Major League East and Major League West.
Hmm.
He wants to get rid of American and National League. This guy is a disaster.
Yeah. He has no respect for baseball and its traditions. Absolutely no respect.
He has no respect for integrity, as demonstrated by the way he allowed the Houston assholes to just walk through and keep their victory.
And
blatant cheating.
Yeah, baseball's always been bad about cheating and kind of policing itself, but this is...
no, when it came to the Black Sox, I mean, when when it suited them, they were good at policing people, good and fine. Look at Pete Rose, man. Yeah, when they got a grief against you,
I don't know. They have a real
gripes.
hot
They're good
button
at
when it
beating
comes to betting. That's their thing.
Wow.
They don't want to be associated.
They've turned the umpires into CSA agents.
Oh, it's disgusting what they do to those. Yeah, it just looks like an airport what they're doing to them out on the field. The pitchers, poor guys.
I haven't paid attention to what the umpires are wearing. Is that what you're referring to?
No, they're feeling up the pitchers, checking.
Because I see with the frisking.
Yeah, ball doping.
That'd be a pretty good skit. Having an umpire feel up a pitcher.
It's been done.
I mean, it's become absurd.
Imagine if there was a female pitcher out there.
He could not. This commissioner could not be any worse.
Yeah.
He makes Roger Goodell look like Pete Rozelle.
Yeah, that's an apt
He
comparison.
makes Bowie Kuhn look like a genius.
Bowie Kuhn look like freaking Albert Einstein.
Remember Bowie Kuhn?
Kuhn was great compared to that.
People used to joke about his intelligence, I think.
They did?
Oh, he was a dumbass.
See?
I always thought he was I thought he was well respected. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Remember he kicked Mickey Mantle and Willie Mays out of the Hall of Fame?
He did?
Yeah, tell him about
I don't know
that.
if you remember that story.
No.
Tell him about that, real quick.
Oh, take as long
Willie
as you want.
Mays and Mickey Mantle worked as casino greeters and did a commercial for a casino. And he barred them from participating in any major league events.
Oh, because they were associated with gambling?
Well, because they took a job. Yeah, they did a commercial for a casino. Okay, that's... Wow.
Yeah. So doing
See, that's it.
commercials
That
for
shows
casinos.
you. It's the
Now
hot button.
they have FanDuel ads and FanDuel banners at stadiums and signs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bowie Kuhn said that anyone that's associated with gambling should not have any job in Major League Baseball.
And then he had to retract it, or what happened? How did that get reversed?
Supreme Court.
No, really.
Bowie Kuhn got essentially was asked to resign in 1984. Pete Ueberroth took over, and one of Pete Ueberroth's first things was to reinstate them.
Yeah, that would have been just horrific not to have those two guys in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You might as well
That's
not have
insane.
a Hall of Fame.
No. That's wow.
Yeah, Peter Ueberroth had a brain. See, that's
Okay.
that's why people don't like Bowie Kuhn.
Well, my opinion on Bowie Kuhn just flipped in an instant. I'd completely forgotten that. Oh my goodness! Yeah, what a.
Well, how about 1976 when Chuck Finley, knowing that he couldn't afford any of these free agents that were coming up, so he started selling off his players. He sold Vida Blue to the Yankees. He sold Raleigh Fingers to the Red Sox. The Raleigh Fingers was actually at Fenway Park in uniform, and he called up and says, "No, the trades are not allowed."
And what's the grounds of that?
And they lost him for nothing.
What was the grounds?
The Red Sox also got Joe Rudy. They would have had Joe Rudy and Raleigh Fingers.
Mm-hmm. What was the grounds for invalidating the trades?
Not in the best interest of baseball.
And I guess they somehow reserved that right in their
he's the commissioner.
bylaws
Yeah.
to do things like that are...
Highly controversial.
Highly.
And,
yeah.
I mean, it's just ridiculous that happened.
Yeah, it's terrible, I think. Interference with... I mean, it's... If the teams want to do that and they're not like colluding in some way against the other teams, like you can't have a secret agreement to between teams. I think to.
Well, this wasn't a secret agreement.
Yeah.
This was a sale. They sold these players to the
Right.
Red Sox.
Yeah. He wanted to get rid of them. Right.
I mean, it was basically a cash deal. It was like they got like a couple of $1 million.
It's like patent
No players in.
But that's never happened since, right? That's never happened since.
Well, infamously, David Stern vetoed the Chris Paul to the Lakers trade.
The what?
Chris Paul to the Lakers. Yeah. So it's exceptional. It doesn't happen that often. But yeah, he did.
I forgot what the deal was with that. It was just like who is trading to the Lakers? Chris Paul from the OKC or who? No.
From the Hornets.
The Hornets.
Or the Pelicans. They were becoming the Pelicans at the time. New Orleans Hornets, and they became New Orleans Pelicans. Charlotte Hornets took the name back during that confusing period.
Yeah, so, yeah, it doesn't seem right that he would have gotten involved with that.
No, he wanted to support the
And his argument
franchise.
was that basically the Lakers were trading a player who was injured. I forgot who it was. Was injured and not basically his career was over, but his salary cap numbers still counted against the Lakers' salary cap, and they were trading that player for Chris Paul, along with like draft picks, and it was like, wait a second, you're trading, you're gonna have the Hornets tied up against the cap, and you're freeing up cap space and getting an All-Star, so that like
Yeah. So what were the Hornets getting? Just some draft
like
picks?
nobody. Basically draft picks, and then freeing up some dead weight on the Lakers roster. It was like Pau Gasol, who was basically
Pau Gasol.
broken down by then.
Talk about a Jedi mind trick.
It was a terrible trade, but
I guess it's commissioner's
why can't?
preventing
Yeah,
that.
I guess it's being very paternalistic and protecting the little
It
baby
was like Pau
expansion.
Gasol, Meta World Peace, like players who were like washed up and done.
Yeah, real
salary
has-beens, right?
Yeah.
Trash bins.
Because Pau Gasol was a great player.
Been
But
like draft picks would have been like
this was
number 20 draft pick.
this in like 2000 and when was this?
2012.
Yeah, 2012. Because this was Pau Gasol actually was really good in that Boston-LA series when LA came back and beat Boston in 7. I think I was two.
I don't know if Pau Gasol was in the trade, but I just know it was like players who were just like washed up and like had heavy salary numbers.
Yeah, but Meta World Free, is that what his name? The Ron Artest guy?
Yeah.
Meta World Peace, yeah.
Close.
And he was
Ron Artest until he chose to beat up that fan in the stands.
Yeah, but he was a good defensive player for a long time. He had nice long
By
arms.
2012, he was basically done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe they decided after that there's enough David Stern, and then we had to bring in the next the Stern clone,
No.
Adam Silver.
David Stern wanted to break Pete Rozell's record as a 30-year commissioner, and he stepped down.
Oh, so he did that, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had.
David Stern was 30 years as commissioner.
Talk about a guy with a great life, you know? I mean, that job, what a job.
Well, he did great value for the league over that time.
He contributed a lot.
Solidified, got good steady growth.
Well, he must have been a lawyer by trade or something, and he just.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he was.
Yeah,
he was a talented lawyer.
Well, of course, you always want your lawyers to be Jewish, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to find out. It was like a 3-way trade. Here it is. The New Orleans Hornets. The Lakers would have got Chris Paul. Here it is. This is who here's the guy I'm thinking about. It wasn't Artest. It wasn't. It was Lamar Odom.
Oh, Lamar Odom's. Yeah.
Lamar Odom was going to the Hornets.
Yeah, and Pau Gasol would have went to the Rockets. It would have been a 3-team deal.
Yeah.
The Rockets would have given the Hornets a draft pick, and the Hornets would have gotten one first round draft pick from the Lakers, from the Rockets, one second round pick from the Rockets, and they would have gotten Lamar Odom, Kevin Martin, Luis Scola, and Goran Dragic.
And Goran?
Yes.
Well, he's a good player.
Okay,
But
he's a nice, solid player.
We get one.
All for Chris Paul?
Yeah.
I don't think that's so ridiculous, but I guess you also said Luis Scola, right?
Yep.
Luis Scola chewing tobacco. He's a pretty physical, scrappy Hispanic player.
This could have been a 14 trade because the Lakers were going to send Bynum to the Magic.
Andrew Bynum.
For Dwight Howard.
Walk down memory lane.
Now that's a nice trade. Yeah. Andrew Bynum for Dwight Howard. Two big guys going for each other. Yeah. At the time yeah.
And basically, by getting rid of, the Lakers couldn't do it unless they lost the money that was on Lamar Odom's salary.
Interesting. Those are trades worth talking about.
Well, this was before he was found passed out in that cat house.
Right. This is pre-Bunny Ranch.
Yeah, pre-Bunny Ranch.
Yeah, but this is when he was basically done. He was washed up and
was he was done by then?
His career is falling apart.
Yeah. It happens when you associate with the Kardashians.
Well, yeah, it's the curse.
The curse.
Well, that's very interesting. Yeah.
Speaking of cursed, the other night we were watching that Yankees-Angels game, and there's a rain delay for a while, and then they came back on late, and all hell broke loose there in the ninth inning. Wasn't that incredible how they just the closer just melted down, gave up, was it 7 runs?
I actually was watching that game, and it reminded me of mini-series Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, who is the closer for the Yankees now? It's not Chapman?
It's Chapman.
It was Chapman.
And so how would he's so good? I mean, what happened to him?
Oh, he didn't botch the game.
He lost the ability to use sticky stuff.
Yeah, he just sucks.
His ERA in June was over 11.
What? Who was that?
Aldous Chapman.
He's become a bust? Like, what's wrong with him? Is he not throwing the ball hard, or is he wild?
It's too fat.
He can't control it. He's since they started checking for the sticky stuff, he's had problems.
Oh. So he might be doing more than chapstick. Chapman might be.
He's chapsticking. He was.
Wonder what his secret was. His secret sauce.
He's probably using that spider tech.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, so maybe all this checking this, aircraft transit, Homeland Security type stuff. These pat downs are having a good effect.
Ever since they banned this sticky stuff, he struggled.
Yeah. Well, it didn't bother Jacob deGrom. Thank goodness.
They brought him into an 8-4 game, and he walked 3 of the first 4 batters. And then hung a pitch.
Well,
for a grand slam.
That'll account for a lot of a team's problems when they lose their closer and they can't hold leads. That's devastating.
Mm-hmm. And the one out he got was because one of the Angels swung a pitch in his eyes and just popped it up to first base.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I want you to tell us about the Red Sox. What do you think about that? Because you know how hot they are. They're on pace for 100 wins.
Are they for real?
I don't know if they're for real to win anything other than their division.
Thank you.
But
thank you.
It shows that Castro. It shows that not Castro. Cora is a good manager.
He is,
and that they're able to piece a few things together.
Their bullpen's holding up well, which is the opposite of the Yankees.
Yeah, Adam Ottavino, who the Yankees gave up because he had a bad year last year, and now he's having a good year. The Yankees are certainly regretting that, I bet.
Yeah.
Sir?
They got J.D. Martinez going crazy.
The Yankees have just made some bonehead trades. And Brian Cashman, because he was the GM in the dynasty years, with players that were not his, they were players built by previous general managers, just gets so much credit and so much laurel that for some reason George Steinbrenner's son won't fire him. And someone actually wrote last week after Hal Steinbrenner said that he doesn't think things are as bad as they look. That basically he says he's not going to be like his father and compulsively fire people. One of the Met announcers commented, "Well, he must take after his mother then."
Yeah, exactly. When the ghost of Steinbrenner would have fired this guy a while ago, so this is dragging on.
God.
I'm trying to figure that comment out. I don't know.
The Yankees aren't just bad; they're boring. The Giancarlo Stanton trade has been disastrous. Hal doesn't want to go over the luxury tax like his father did. His father said, "I don't care about any luxury tax. I don't care. Don't talk to me about luxury tax. Spend, spend, spend." Hal doesn't. And the contract for Giancarlo Stanton is such a monstrous, bad deal that he's not healthy. He's always hurt. You can't play him in the field. And basically, he hits his home runs in bunches. He'll hit like 5 home runs one week, and then the next 20 games, next 10 games, he'll go 2 for 20. I mean, he's such a streaky hitter. He's so overrated. And then basically, Aaron Judge is the same type of player. And now they got to start thinking about him. They don't have any pitching. They put a lot of money in on on Garrett Cole.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of money on Aroldis Chapman. They have a lot of money on players, and then players that were like prospects that showed promise early, like Gary Sanchez. Gary Sanchez just goes into just like these slumps.
Yeah, he's good when he's good, though, but boy, he's
a defensive liability. He's probably one of the worst catchers in baseball.
Gary Sanchez can't move.
Then you have
Dirty Sanchez.
Then you have Gleyber Torres, who is supposed to be the next superstar, who basically the last 2 years has been lost. Ever since they got rid of Didi Gregorius, who they didn't want to save over the salary over the luxury tax, but they've missed Didi Gregorius' leadership. I mean, decisions that the Yankees used to make. That meanwhile, Brett Gardner, who is basically his next appearance at Yankee Stadium should be at Old Timers Day, who has nothing left.
But they do have.
Keep bringing him in.
But didn't they hold on to DJ LeMahieu?
Yeah, DJ LeMahieu they held on to.
Yeah.
Well, you know why they held on to LeMahieu, don't you?
Because they had to hold LeMahieu.
You know why else?
Why?
To talk to the Mets. So basically, the Mets made them sign him.
They were doing a favor?
And the Mets all of a sudden showed interest in him, and all of a sudden the Yankees said, "We can't let this guy go to the Mets."
Yeah. No, yeah. They don't. But the Mets aren't even in their league.
Now they are. Well, I'm talking about now they are in spending wise. All right, we're at the stadium. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. It was great having you on, Tank. We're watching what you're doing on Barstool and
listening to you. And all
I feel happy that
fans every day.
You're doing so well. So let's stay in touch. Okay.
Thank you.
Have a good day. All right. So that was Tank from New York with Abe and.
An on-the-spot update on the way to Yankee Stadium to catch a doubleheader there.
Stay tuned to their Twitter pages, to Abe's Twitter page, so you can see what's happening. I'm sure he's giving people live updates.
I think we still have Abe, though.
And,
Are you back, Abe?
Do we have Abe? No, I think so.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just, like I said, we just got out of the car. Like I said, that was a very good opportunity. We were very lucky.
Get out.
Yes.
Oh, that was great. It was like old times to have Tank back on.
I know.
Just to have a casual conversation about sports, and I knew he'd know who won, or the one team in Stanley Cup history that came back from an 0-3 deficit.
Got me. I know it had been done in the playoffs.
I know someone had done it
because the Penguins did it. I think to the Islanders. Or it was the other way around. One way or the other. In one of their playoff series that happened.
Yeah, but not in the final.
No.
So that was.
But it's not happening this year. We know that.
No, it's not going to happen this year. Tampa's just too good.
Well, Abe, do you want to talk about racing before
you get in the stadium?
Or what?
Has begun. Well, I'm going to see if I can try to... Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah.
Hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to get ahead and get let me go ahead and try to get a real quick take-in on the racing segment.
Mm-hmm.
And then I may have to leave after that.
Okay.
That's
before
fine.
we try to get everything going on. But I can definitely... I do have some information on that.
Yeah.
That we can go ahead and jump right on into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I picked the wrong Kyle last week.
Yeah, so essentially what we have right now is we do have the I'm calling you, hold on, sorry. Hold on. So as of right now, today we do have the Road America Jockey Made in America 250. And that one is going to be held today in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. It's going to be a 62-lap race. It's 250 miles. We will be able to watch that on NBCSN radio, of course, is Sirius XM, NASCAR radio, and MRN. And, you know, one of the things that's really it's always special to have a 4th of July race, holiday race, just like we do for other holidays. And a very interesting thing about this actual race is that it is the first time that NASCAR does go to the this road course in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Interesting little fact about this course is that it was open, and I believe Road America opened up in 1965 here. It's an asphalt road course. It's got 14 turns. August 12th, 1956 is actually really kind of the Road America lone premier race. This was a road race that they did, and it was interesting because they had a primitive pit road right off the side of like the regular road.
So, like a dirt road, gravel road?
It was one of so it was actually one of those roads where, you know, you're doing this road course and then all of a sudden you're going, you know, you're just like pulling off to the side of the road because there's like this makeshift pit area there. And that's really kind of where it really originated from. And of course, later on, we built the course. It's a beautiful course. It's a road course today. And with that being said, I was on the Yak a couple days ago. I was a Yak, if you're not aware, is a Barstool Sports show.
Yes.
And on that show, which I have put the links up on our Facebook group, if you're in the Facebook group, the link for the show is there. And I did pick a checkered flag because I was asked on the spot to make a prediction there.
All right.
And so I'm going to go with my original prediction, or the prediction that I made on the Yak, which is Martin Truex Jr.
Uh-huh.
And so I guess the other question comes is, do you have any other checkered flag requests for today? Or do you have any checkered flag?
No. Yeah, Chab Dog.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something appropriate. I'd say whoever's driving with the first name George will win this race today.
George. I don't know if we have any drivers named George today.
Anything close to that?
How about the 4-car? Who's driving
really?
the 4-car?
Is there a car that's number 50? I'm trying to think of something.
Number 50 NASCAR
how about,
car?
Well, the 50th in the pack would be too far back.
I like Kyle Busch.
Let's just.
Well, you did win the last race.
I know.
Kyle Busch.
Yep. And he's just on a
He did
streak.
win at the Poconos.
Yep. He won in the Poconos.
Yeah, he was on fire. So Eric, we'll put you down for Kyle Busch.
Yeah, put me down for Busch, please.
I'll go with the.
I like your Truex pick, though. I mean, I would have otherwise. I would have.
I'm going to say Denny Hamlin.
There you go.
We're hoping that maybe little Denny can, or what we call soup and sandwich.
Yes.
Can actually come ahead and actually win a race.
Yeah.
When in doubt, pick Denny Hamlin, because one of these days he's going to win.
Apple Pie Chevrolet and Denny Hamlin.
Yep. Baseball.
Okay, those are again. Thank you for kind of working with me today, because I am kind of doing this on the fly, and again, usually I
we didn't get to play Speed Racer
the entire length of the show.
Mm-hmm.
But I think today we're going to be about to get mobbed here at Yankee Stadium, and it's going to get a little wild. But I will say that, I know great things are coming to our website right now at chabdog.com, and I know that, we're going to be kind of feeding amazing content to the to our fan base there, and you'll be able to catch some of the things that maybe I missed today on the show, but you will be able to get that to you through other media. So
I wanted to say
thank you very much for having us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're doing wonderful things on Twitter. I just want you to appreciate that you really now are like our Twitter outpost, and maybe I'm the Facebook outpost, but you're keeping your ear to the ground on that, and getting people
working it hard. Yeah, he's just plugging away on Twitter. It's amazing. Man, great grounds there.
We love having you on,
and so you should too, because you got a good voice, and they're good positive messages, fun messages coming out there, and a lot of sports data too. So
great car.
Yep. On the Chab Dog Sports Talk Radio Show.
So
Thank you so
listen
much,
to the second half of the show when you're back or something, and you'll like it. Okay.
We're gonna play on from and enjoy. We'll watch you on Twitter there. On the second half of the show, and see if there's anything good to pull up.
Why don't you lead into the next hour with some Copland? Can you do that?
Yeah. So while we're still,
I have a need for that after
get some Copland
hearing that Jersey stuff in the background.
All those Jersey people speaking. Yeah.
Yeah. If you lived in Queens, or in Jersey, this is the way you talk.
I'll talk to him.
Pretty much how it sounds.
But he knew this would not happen. Not in this city.
Activist Cyril Johns met the parents
That
of the
was
slain
Phil
teens calling
Leotardo
for a
again.
human blockade on the bridge tomorrow.
A drunk cop jumps off a bridge that does not erase the murder of 2 black children.
Attending the Yankee game, Mayor Farrelly responded to reports of cops attempting to plant evidence on the bridge.
We are looking into it. There may
I
have been
saw
some
that scene. That
irregularity
was
on the
ridiculous.
bridge, but as I've said, we are
Robert
looking into
Patrick was
it. No more
planting
comments,
evidence
please. I'm here to enjoy
in the
ball game with
car.
my wife. Thank you very much.
In a moment, I
There he is. There he is, Robert Patrick.
You'll never get another raise in your life. Who's going to tell
Ray Liotta at the bar next to Sty Salon.
Diagonal rule. Diagonal rule.
Diagonal rule.
Red light, don't fight, you make a right. It's more important than the golden rule. Superboy knew that, he'd still be alive, Freddie.
Dumb Superboy.
Freddie, I
David
heard you
Rappaport,
saved
Mike
Dolly the
Rappaport.
turtle today. What happened to your nose?
Nothing. I just had a little accident.
Huh?
Listen, Joey, there's something we should probably talk about if you've got some time.
Well,
something if you have a few minutes.
Pretty boy Joey, betting against the Bulls.
Stones is
What is that? What are you, some kind of high roller?
Fuck you, Figs. I had 12 points.
Against the 5-time NBA champs. What kind of bet is that? You night guys, you watch way too much Oprah when you should be catching your Z's.
Figs. Well, at least I'm not the one sniffing my money away.
That was your inner child making that wager, Joey. Little boy Joey with the little Met poster taped above his bed.
Good. Tell you what, Figs, why don't you do me a favor? Come on over here, unzip me, pull out my inner child, and take a bite, baby. Bite it hard and bite it thick.
Fuck you.
Speaking of hot dogs.
Fuck like that, PD. How's that make you feel, Freddie?
I don't care.
Like eating donuts? Look, Freddie, I say it's okay to be jealous. You saved this girl's life, right? From risking yourself, from saving her sorry ass, you go deaf as a result.
In one ear.
In one ear. Then you have to watch as this girl you saved, this beauty queen, marries this cocksucker. And you with your ear, You can't even get a desk on the force. Right? You're fucked. Be jealous, Freddy. Let it out. I would. Purge. Cleanse yourself. Fucking cleansing.
Ray Liotta's getting revved up now.
He's getting revved up.
Del, let me have another beer.
Chain
Gotta go,
smoking.
Freddy. Thanks. School's in session. See you later.
Uh-oh. School's in session. Get ready.
This guy gets against the ball.
He goes to sit down at the table with the other dirty cops.
No one wants to get involved in your personal life, Gary. But just because you're undercover now, that don't
I
mean
love
people
that
aren't
old
watching.
style cigarette machine.
What's going on here? I mean, this is fucking bullshit. This is bullshit. What is this, Omerta? Huh? Listen, if IA's gonna fucking hang me by the balls, it ain't gonna be over some fucking missing evidence.
Figsy, you've been a cop 12 years. 6 grams missing, it's not a White Sox violation, babe. Come on.
You bought that big old house. Maybe you're trying to get out from under.
Hey, Jack.
What the fuck's up your ass? You gonna tell me you're getting by without gravy, any of you?
Nobody gets
Listen
by
to me, I
without
was putting out
gravy.
race fires when you were still sucking on your mama's titty, so just back the fuck off, all right? So what do you want? You want to toss me? What? You can't...
Sit down, Gary.
No, well, tell me what's going on.
Yeah,
This is
can't tell.
bullshit.
Even better, why don't you get the fuck out?
Fuck you, you fucking child. Just back the fuck off.
Yeah, well, at least I'm not shacking with no reeking whore.
Ooh.
You're supposed to fuck him, Gary, not open up a methadone clinic.
You just crossed the line.
Hey! Come on, that's too much now. Hey!
Best part with the dart. Oh.
You got a problem with me helping a girl in
He
trouble?
likes the way that feels.
You got a problem with that? No, huh? Fucking humanitarian!
Oh, there's bleeding and everything.
Oh, God! Come on. Come here, you see this? Look, I tell you, you see him? That was my fucking partner. That was a cop!
Enough!
He doesn't have such a
Let
long
go of him,
nose,
Figsy.
too.
Jeez. Ow.
Go home.
Yeah, he's a little...
Ray Liotta has a crazy streak.
Don't
I like-
shut me out, Ray. You found us a sweet
He's
little
kind of
town.
like if I was
You got us the
if I
low
was
interest,
a leading
and I'm
man,
grateful.
I'd want to be like him.
But don't
I'm
forget
not as
who it was
aggressive,
that you
know?
came to 2 years ago to cover your ass.
Get him out of here, Freddy.
It's not my fault that you can't look at him. You sit in this chair with your back to him.
That's his
You want
father.
it to go away, but I'm still
Partner.
here.
Oh,
In
the
for
partner?
a penny, in for a pound. Don't shut me out, Ray.
Yeah.
I think he's better here, actually, than Goodfellas.
This was a really good acting job.
Yeah. In an underrated movie. an
Yeah, I
overlooked
love this movie.
too.
If I could watch this movie, like I don't know how to get it to watch the whole freaking thing.
Copland?
Yeah.
You know, who knows? It's on some pay. You got to pay somebody. Shell some money to somebody out there.
That would be a real treat. If somebody could get me a video of something of Copland, I could just spend 2 hours watching that. I think that would be pretty close to orgasm.
Let's see if we can dig one up on the break.
Yes.
I gotta calm down.
I'm sorry. I'm just speaking to my inner child.
Vapor locking here and talking to the tank again. It was so. Let's take a break, Chad.
This is what it takes when you get to be my age. Okay.
We'll be back up.
Hour 2 is coming up. This will be definitely freeform.
We're told that greatness is exceptional, when it should be expected. You choose every day to live your life intentionally, without apology for how bright your light may shine. So go be great. Go be brilliant. Go be you. Go defy life. The Defy Life movement is one that speaks to each of us in its own way. Defy Life gear speaks to us all by reminding us that one size does not fit all. Visit defylifegear.com to get fitted for greatness.
The Law Office of Brandon S. Chabner, serving clients in Southern California with transactional legal services since 2007. We handle general, corporate, outside counsel type work, drafting and negotiating a wide variety of business and commercial contracts, including non-disclosure agreements, independent contractor agreements, and employment agreements. Our experience includes working with public and private companies and involves a broad range of industries, including healthcare, consumer products, real estate, and high technology. Mr. Chabner has over 20 years of legal experience, having worked for some larger national firms and serving as general counsel for a multi-million-dollar private company here in Southern California before starting his own legal practice. His educational credentials include a law degree from UCLA, where he was on law review, undergraduate degree at Yale, where he graduated magna cum laude, and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Other areas of focus for Chabner Law include press release and business plan editing, pre-litigation matters, and debt and mortgage resolution work. You can contact us at 310-698-0740 and at bchabner@chabnerlaw.com.
Like Chab Dog said, he was 100% right.
He can take all comers.
Along with an overnight bag. How can I describe her? Jello with a belt. When the old bat sits down, it takes the whole mess 5 minutes to settle. When she takes her girdle off, her feet disappear. Putting a girdle on her is like putting a Band-Aid on a guy who had his head cut off. Last time she bought a girdle, a U.S. rubber went up 8 points. You know what it says on her bra? Wide load. We still have a souvenir from her last visit, a Persian throw rug. She sat on the cat. We didn't have a sunken living room till she got there. She spent the day at Disneyland. They thought she was one of the rides. In a bikini, she looks like a bear in a jockstrap. Once a month, they shove her through the Holland Tunnel to clean it. Her idea of a good time is to go downtown and burn out all the escalators. She laid down in our hammock and uprooted 2 trees. If you get an elevator with her, by God, you better be going down. She got a waterbed for Christmas. You know what's in it? Lake Erie. She picks her nose with a shoehorn. She looks like the Goodyear blimp in Heat. In a hula hoop, she looks like the planet Saturn. When she gets in her car, it's such a tight fit she has to cough to blow the horn. She's got stretch marks that glow in the dark. One day a Volkswagen hit her. Hell, they never found it. You know the Richter scale for measuring earthquakes? It's illegal for her to jog in California. Halloween, she threw a sheet over her body and went to a party as Alaska. Her dress size is Junior Missile. Her zipper is a part of Amtrak. She was born on the 8th, 9th, and 10th of June. When she was a kid, her mother used to dress her alike. She was so big she could only play Seek. She's built a...
A lot more politically correct when a woman, a comedian is
Honest to God, she's built like a truck. She was standing by a parking meter one day. Somebody stole her kneecaps. It's all her own fault. It's the way she eats. Hell, if she can't move it, she eats it. I never saw anybody eat so fast. She's got a racing stripe on her fork. She was eating so fast one night in a Chinese restaurant, her chopsticks caught on fire. I'll never forget that night. She arrived in 2 cabs, left in 3. When we got home, she was still hungry, ate the doormat, thought it was a Triscuit.
It is an interesting question. What pills?
Listen, when her stomach growls, you better pick up a chair and a whip.
Was she on the Dean
She
Martin
never shuts the
variety
refrigerator door. The whole front of her is frostbitten.
variety show? Yeah.
She eats so much
Hollywood
spaghetti and
Squares,
bread when
maybe?
she sweats, she starches her dress.
Yeah.
Sarah Lee is mentioned in her will. She takes a no-dose after dinner so she won't miss her midnight snack. She told me she wanted a salad. I poured oil and vinegar on the lawn and told her to graze.
Just keeps coming up through with it.
She belched in the backyard and killed all the birds. She stepped on a dog's tail. Now we call him Beaver. She goes to group therapy all alone. The doctor told her she had to lose 500 pounds. She sold her piano. Her Avon lady drives a pickup truck. She puts deodorant in 98 places and still stinks. Her feet smell so bad her shoes self-destruct. They named a movie after her toes. It's called The Dirty Dozen.
Is that a deposition?
You ought to hear her sing. She hit high C and spayed the dog.
I don't know. I have a feeling he was pressing down on his feet so hard because he was so mad at the person he was provoking. Oh, here we are. I know it's not your favorite, but this is a good scene.
Hey, Ventura!
Look at
Ventura!
his head.
Make any good collars lately, or were they leashes?
That detective.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Homicide, Ventura.
Was that the fat guy in Dumb and Dumber? That guy looks so much older now.
Good question, Aguada. First, I'd establish
The
a
truck
motive.
driver that
In this
poisoned.
case, the killer saw the size of the bug's dick and became insanely jealous.
Guy with a tan, maybe? I mean, he looks
Then
like
I'd
he had a
lose
tan.
30 pounds. Park and his wife! Come on! Now, kiss and make up.
Good job, Ace. All right, we're back with the second half of Chav Dog Sports Talk. This will be, interesting to transition away from what we just had, which was an hour of almost an hour with Tank and Abe in New Jersey. I just loved that discussion about the Mets and the Yankees.
Well, and about NHL hockey.
Yeah, that
the
was
only
good.
team to have ever come back
From 03?
from 03, and this was against the Red Wings. He even knew who it was against as well, the Red Wings.
And, like 1940 or something.
Yep, 1941. So, who else but Frank the Tank?
Yeah, this is not happening. There's just, I saw a little of the Canadians Lightning games 3, and Lightning had them 5-3 in the beginning of the third period, and Montreal just couldn't, or it was 4-2. It was one of those two. And the Montreal just, I think it was, maybe it was 5-2. Montreal just couldn't muster any offense. They just, on their own, they couldn't do anything. And that's not a team that's comfortable taking that many chances. Once they have to open up too much, they're done.
Unfortunately so, yeah. Tampa Bay is just on a different level, and it's not like they could fix things and be fine in the next game. There's nothing to fix. It's just they're just not capable of moving at the speed.
Yeah.
Tampa has them on the run on pretty much every
It's interesting
play,
how
on every line.
The Western Conference kind of fell apart.
Yep.
Because I thought that Winnipeg was a better team than they were. I mean, they just couldn't do anything. The Price had a great series, but the Winnipeg didn't put up much resistance, and then Vegas was just spent after they had to get through the Avalanche.
Yeah.
Hockey, that happens.
That happens.
You can run out of gas pretty quickly, and so unfortunately, it looks like hockey's a foregone conclusion. Maybe I hope you keep up with the NBA,
well, it's going to be opening up soon. That'll be exciting.
Yeah, everybody wants to know if Chris Paul can finally get it done. He's not universally liked. There's and Stephen A. Smith was talking about this. He's got some enemies. He's pretty. He does things on the court that are borderline cheesy. a lot of gamesmanship with throwing his legs out on threes and pretending to be fouled and taking dives, and he's a pretty scrappy kind of I'll do whatever it takes to win kind of guy, even though a lot of people notice that he's had failures in the playoffs. So this is the first time he's gotten this far, but I feel like it's been the teams he's been with have just not been good enough.
Would he wear a toupee? Do you think he'll wear a toupee one day?
Black guys, do they ever do that?
Yeah, I guess not.
They don't do that.
But it's a good segue into we're going to talk some basketball. Let's talk Marv Albert, somebody I really do like in the NBA. And
here's a guy that's been doing NBA games since the 70s, right?
Yep.
And he just did his last game for TNT, I think. We don't get to hear him from finals. We have to step with
Marv is the gold standard for basketball play-by-play.
He is the litmus test for what any play-by-play person could be.
As the game of basketball has grown in popularity and as television really became important to its growth, Marv was one of those voices that played a role in telling the stories.
Here comes Willis, and the crowd is going wild.
Marv Albert's voice is the record of the NBA.
He was a painter. He would take you to the stadium. He would paint the picture for you.
The voice. It was unique. He didn't sound like everybody else. Yes!
Ewing with the spin. Ewing, yes!
It's simple.
New York Knicks games,
Yet,
that's what you associate him with.
It was perfect.
A balmy 71 degrees with Coach Fratello.
On a balmy 63-degree night in Miami.
On a beautiful 65-degree day in Southern California.
My best Marv impression
Why is he doing the weather?
actually irritated me because it would be when Bernard
But
King made a
people
shot
do
over
that.
me and he would yell, yes!
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 Doing Bernard King.
Kind of scared to even try it.
From way downtown.
Miller for three. Yes, from downtown.
Yes!
Not
And
just
it
downtown.
counts.
All of us could say downtown.
From way downtown.
Way downtown.
Young fires from way downtown and takes a bow.
It's genius.
And then there's one of the...
Oh! A
Of course,
spectacular
we're not going
move.
to talk about the period when we lost him.
Marv's
Right.
voice and presence is as much a part of the NBA's success story as
Didn't
all
do
the
it, though,
great
man.
Hall of Fame
Didn't do
players
it.
that he has called.
His
I think
talent
Marv
was
will
just too
always
much.
be remembered as among the tiny handful of truly great play-by-play announcers.
He has been and will always be the greatest basketball play-by-play voice of all time.
It's an end of an era, but for a lot of us, it is the finality
I
of
actually like
something
Brent
that
Musburger a lot.
was much bigger.
I know that people make fun of some. I don't know. It seems like he doesn't always get the respect that he should. But that guy had a way of controlling the. When you were listening to him, it was you were being taken care of completely.
Yeah, I enjoyed Brett Musburger when he did NFL Today.
It's just the basketball I remember.
The show was great. Then he,
and then
some
of
football
course
games,
the football.
college football. He called college football.
NFL Today. Yes.
And I had no problem with him at all. I know people bang on him, but I don't know why. I liked him.
Yeah, so that's the other
Joe
basketball
Buck. That's
guy.
different, but
that's the other basketball guy. So we're losing somebody good. I'm not really in love with people that do I know Mike Breen has a nice voice. He's got very radio voice, very distinctive voice, but he doesn't do a lot for me and his team. Those two guys have been with him for they've been doing this since like before 2014, and it's just I think it's getting boring for a lot of people listening to those three.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, I don't know. There's a certain amount of inertia. Things don't change.
Yep. Like Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, they keep showing up and they just keep paying them year after year after year. They keep on going. They get paid by the word.
Well,
Yeah,
one
this
thing,
is the Delta.
one thing that's kept going through the years has been Animal House, and the number of people that love that movie. So
She broke her date. Washing her hair.
let's hear
Dead
from
mother.
the Delta
Dead
variant, the Delta Deviants.
We're in trouble.
Not the Delta variant.
I just checked with the guys at the Jewish house, and they said that every one of our answers on the psych test were wrong.
Every one? Those assholes must have stolen the wrong fucking exam. Oh, God, look what just creeped in.
Oh, talk about the voice. The voice.
Looks like somebody forgot there's a rule against alcoholic beverages in fraternities on probation.
Tool.
I didn't get that, son. What was that?
I said,
Tool.
what a shame that a few bad apples have to spoil a good time for everyone by breaking the rules.
Put a sock in it, boy. Or else you'll be out of here like shit through a goose. Now, have you boys seen your grade point average yet?
Eric Strap-on Stratton.
Well, have you?
I have, sir. I know it's a little below par. At the
It's
moment.
more than a little below par.
Hoover.
It stinks. It's the lowest on campus. It's the lowest in Faber history.
Well, sir, we're hoping that our midterm grades will really help our average.
Laugh now. Because you clowns have been on double secret probation since the beginning of this semester.
Double secret probation?
And that means one more slip up, one more mistake.
And you're out.
And this fraternity of yours has had it at Faber.
Well, that was pleasant. Nice of him to stop by, don't you think?
We've got to do something. He's serious this time. I think he knows about the exams.
He's right.
You're right. We got to do something.
Absolutely.
You know what we got to do? Toga party.
We're on double secret probation, whatever that is. We can't afford to have a toga party.
You guys up for a toga party?
Toga! Toga!
Yeah, I think they like the idea, Hoove.
Oh, Otter, please don't do this.
We got news for you, pal. They're gonna nail us no matter what we do. So we might as well have a good time. Toga, 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 toga,
There we go. That was good logic. I mean, he was right. They were going to get him out anyway, so they might as well go out in a blaze of glory.
Mm-hmm.
So it really doesn't matter.
And they did have the meaningless gesture at the end in the float parade.
Well, yeah, that was actually very meaningful. I mean, they got their revenge.
May I have 10,000 marbles, please?
Yeah. Thank you, God. That was a classic scene.
Oh.
Classic scenes there. So, Jab Dog, this week, pretty quiet week, because we were moving into a holiday weekend, and news was gearing down, or things were gearing down, getting a little quieter, but there was the news this week about Sha'Carri Richardson, the track athlete, American Olympic.
Oh, is she the one that
athlete.
was on tested for weed?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, and so now she's, I guess she's
Didn't
gotta
she
stay
know
off
that they test for that?
I would assume she knew all that. And
But maybe it was just a random test, and
apparently her was it her grandmother passed away, and so there's the rules, and then there's
it's so
there's
funny
the rules. Do the rules make
because
sense?
they don't test like that in the NBA.
This is the Olympics.
How many of those people do you think in the NBA are? I mean, I would say 75 to 80% of them.
Oh, how about 100%? But they don't test. That's just they don't test there, so it doesn't matter. And she was, to mitigating circumstance, she was coping from a death
It doesn't
in her family.
matter.
But the rules,
it doesn't matter in anybody's. She broke the rules. They're not going to let her run. She's done for this.
Well, I think for 30 days she might be able to come back a little later once it clears her system and she can be drug free. But it's okay. There's what should be and there's what is. I don't agree with this rule. I think it's preposterous. I think they should have this should have been rewritten 10 years ago, or way earlier in the Vancouver Olympics.
I mean, let's just think about it. It's not a performance enhancing drug.
Well,
it really
they
isn't.
said it was.
The only Olympic sport I can think of where pot would be helpful and good would be curling. And that's in the Winter Olympics.
I think the only Winter Olympics curling, yeah.
Don't you think you'd be able to really
Hey,
concentrate on those shots?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, smacking at the briar.
You'd really enjoy. In theory, watching that in Stoned is great because everything is slowed down and you can really concentrate on every single thing that's happening on that curling rink.
Yeah, you can just do very subtle broom strokes ahead of your stone. Pine tar on your shoes.
But that's it. Everything else, it ruins it for you. You can't compete well. I'm like the 100-yard dash, being high for the 100-yard dash.
Yeah, but it's apparently didn't hurt her. I mean, here's the thing. They say
that was her sport.
They're just the Olympic Committee justification for not changing this rule is they say it's a performance enhancer. So
it's not.
Well, that's what I want to see. Okay, you can say that all you want, but where's your proof? Where's your study? Where's your clinical evidence? They don't have any. So this is ridiculous. This is why it's ridiculous.
Is there any sport where being able to see color more clearly and vividly is helpful?
Well, if that's how it affects, it doesn't even affect everybody universally. Yeah, so then it was AOC. Do you
all this to protect curling is just stupid, I think.
You probably don't agree with AOC on a lot of things, and I don't either. But this week, I stand locked in arms with her, and you'd probably be on the other side of her supporting her. Because she said this. Well, because
what does she have to do with
stuck
this?
up for Sha'Carri
Nothing.
Richardson and said that this ban is racist.
It's not racist.
It's
just not a smart ban.
Well, banning marijuana,
like the rule is not racist.
Yeah, the rule's racist because this disproportionately affects African Americans.
Oh,
this is what they've.
That's what the argument is.
Well, me too. I'm not African American.
You're not. Yeah, I don't want to talk. I mean, you if you really feel strongly for it, you can let me know.
Well, I think it's the history of marijuana's prohibition in this country is racist.
He's trying to incite me.
I am? No, I think the whole marijuana laws are racist, Chab Dog. This is the history of the marijuana prohibition.
Is prohibition racist? That's the same
marijuana
thing.
Was.
I mean, that's where you're going.
You didn't know any of this history.
You're going with that theory.
Not theory.
That's kind of like saying sales tax are racist. I mean,
well, mathematics is racist, but I'm not saying that.
Anything that affects the general population is racist because, that doesn't make sense.
They banned alcohol and they banned marijuana and they allow alcohol back, but they didn't allow marijuana back after the prohibition.
Oh, well.
And marijuana
is a drug.
Disproportionately the choice for people living down south where they could grow it easily. Yeah. Blacks and whites, but they.
Anyway, I think we were in agreement about the basic rule, which is the bottom line, and I don't.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I don't.
It's not a performance enhancer. I feel that the Olympic Committee is lying to us.
Maybe I'm agreeing with AOC this time.
There you go. And I knew you'd like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, let's turn the channel now to the Dodgers and specifically put the spotlight on Trevor Bauer.
Yes.
What do you know
Dodgers
tell me what you know
scandal
about Trevor Bauer.
That I heard involved some sexual interacts. Maybe it's his girlfriend.
Well,
is this his girlfriend? No, I heard he was choking her.
Was not sodomy.
Wasn't he choking her?
That was involved as well. Yeah, there were a few things.
Which is something that I know people do from time to time consensually, right?
Well,
so that's really.
She got a restraining order on him, even though they're not dating. They went on 2 dates.
I think it's not battery or assault when the person consents. So.
Well, it's hard to say. How can you consent to being knocked unconscious and then sodomized, and then you wake up and you say,
"It was an accident, maybe that he knocked her unconscious."
Accident?
Because she asked him to choke her, but didn't mean she asked him to choke her into unconsciousness.
Well, it's hard to know when you're choking somebody. How do you? Yeah, exactly.
I think you're assuming a bit of risk when you do that. And it's kind of like what happens. Never mind. Just one thing led to another, and there's a problem.
So great. That's why you listen to Chab Dog. You get like good legal advice on if you.
My legal advice is not to let somebody choke you at all.
Well, or to choke anybody either on the other side.
I've seen plenty of movies where that happens.
Well, this ties nicely into what happened with Bill Cosby this week as well.
And Bill Cosby's out?
Yes,
That's right.
on a legal. What do you call it? That's not really a technical.
Well, there were some.
Weren't
there due process issues?
Yes.
There were due process concerns about. I think it had to do with past acts that he had done.
It wasn't the acts; it was past testimony he gave in a civil trial. And at the time, the district attorney in the civil trial, this is a few years ago, said, "You know what?" Because he said, "Look, I don't have to voluntarily give this evidence or depositions, so screw it. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to potentially incriminate myself," said Cosby through his attorney.
Yeah.
And so the DA said, "Okay, it's a civil trial. I'll tell you what, you can say whatever you want, and we won't. If you do say something incriminating, we will grant you immunity. We won't prosecute you criminally. You'll just have to tell the truth in this civil trial, and then the cards will fall where they fall." So he did.
It doesn't matter. You can't. If somebody has the Fifth Amendment right, they always have the right to take the Fifth. You can't immunize them.
But that's precisely what the DA in Philadelphia in Pennsylvania did.
I don't think that's constitutional.
Well, it wasn't. It isn't.
No. If somebody has a Fifth Amendment right, I don't think you can immunize them such that they have to talk.
Well,
why have the right?
He could have withheld in that civil trial and said he's not going to talk.
Yeah.
But that's okay. You're saying that shouldn't be the case, but that's exactly what happened.
Well, that may have something to do with why he got released.
That's exactly what it had to do with why he got released because
Okay.
he can't. Because
You can't see.
But the state of Philadelphia. But then on the other hand, you're right. So why does the state of Philadelphia challenge it in court? But they're not. They vacated the case and actually said that there can be no more trial on this issue.
Well, because they know they're wrong.
Well, they were only wrong. Look, there's no question that he did these things he did, and he's trying to suggest otherwise now. But
the court has somebody's spoken about this from high enough above that was this it's supposed to be a court of appeals, not a Supreme Court thing, right?
Yes, this
because I guess in theory you could go, I think, up to the Supreme Court if
they could bump it
want
up to the next stage, but it doesn't sound like they're going to go that way.
But because I think everybody reacts the same way that I do, and that in general that it's a very scary thing if you have a right like that, and the state can come along and nullify that right by saying they're going to immunize you when.
Well, that's the case. They did immunize him, and then they chose to ignore it and proceeded to prosecute. Yeah, so they decided to prosecute him instead. So they did it. Now, is it constitutional to be immunized like that? That's a good question.
So did Cosby have to say something that he didn't want to, otherwise wouldn't have said?
Yeah, well, in the civil trial, he says, I gave women Quaaludes, and they passed out, and I touched them when they were passed out.
See, there's a very disturbing thing is people kind of basically know he's guilty.
Yes.
And now he's
already admitted
been
it.
released.
Now he's been released, yes, exactly. The crimes occurred, there's no
usually
question.
When
the women in those trials were
most
credible.
times you don't, I don't know, maybe sometimes the people are guilty when that happens, but
Do you remember this trial was 2 years ago? Do you remember anything about this trial?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought
there were two peculiar
drugging women and
yes,
to have sex with them, right?
But I thought it was very peculiar that the judge allowed the testimony of like 15 or 20 women who just came in and said, made allegations of this type of behavior in the past.
Yeah,
you're not purely allegations.
You're not supposed to be able to do that.
You're not supposed to be able to do that. And they did the same thing in the Weinstein trial recently.
In a criminal,
Wacky Hot Mess was bringing this up. That when they convicted Weinstein,
can you imagine that?
They did the same thing.
Just
as well.
that thought that
claims came.
They can put you in jail for something because they can prove that you did other things before.
They can pay off 10 people that can make allegations of what I did or didn't do before.
I mean, talk about like a never-ending cycle. If that's why they have that rule, is that you can't. You can't be continually punished for the same thing based on the fact that you were punished before.
Yeah, and that's why. So Cosby's off on that as well, and maybe Weinstein will skip because of they didn't run these trials properly, and they didn't run these trials. So we go back to this whole Me Too movement. It's like, hey, like ladies, people, that doesn't just because you really hate somebody and you found them doing something evil, they still are. You have to give them proper legal due process. You can't ignore steps and say, well, these 20 women here want to come in and speak. No. Sorry, not appropriate. But you did, and now you blew the case, and now these criminals are going to get out because you're overzealous. Calm down, people. Due process, like like President Trump this week, and his CFO, Weisselberg.
Weisselberg was indicted.
He was indicted on $900,000 of tax evasion from going through the books with a very fine comb. They could see that he was getting benefits, $900,000 in benefits he didn't declare on his taxes, corporate benefits. Yeah, because he used company property or bought boats or paid for memberships and such that he should have included as a benefit, which he didn't, to the tune of $900,000 over a few years. So the New York District Attorney spends millions of dollars and lots of resources going after this case over multiple years here, and this is the best they can find. I thought you were going to indict the president. Hey, what happened to all this fraud you were talking about and his valuation of properties? What happened to all this tax money you were talking about? What, you caught his CFO getting some benefits? That's all? Hello?
I don't think
it's a witch hunt.
I don't think that keeps people up at night.
No, but it's a witch hunt. It's like, just leave the guy alone.
Right.
You may not like the guy, but it's back. Quit being dicks about it.
Yeah, it's just more wasted money.
More wasted money, wasted time, wasted energy.
So I think everybody responsible for that is not going to get the mileage out of it that they think.
Well, they should be hung. They're just giving fuel to people like Ben Shapiro to rally against them.
Well, it's nice to be brought up to speed on everything that's happening.
Yeah. So let's go back to New York.
Oh, yeah.
Gangs in New York.
Where are you going, boy? I'm here to pay tribute to Bill.
Where are you now? Yeah, give it to me. I'll give it to him.
No, thanks. I'll give it to him myself.
Oh.
New York was a tough place in the 1840s.
What do you want to keep? The morning you pull your teeth boil. John.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Random people getting shot in Times Square last night.
Mm-hmm.
For me, me lad, sir.
A lot of violence with knives in this movie.
Where's he from?
Well, I got guns weren't that strong.
Oh, he's not from here, sir.
Yeah.
You!
Like those fights at the end, they're all just axes and that terrible fight scene. They didn't use guns in general.
No, they had clubs and stuff. And barbed wire.
That's close enough.
Yeah, you have to be careful with how close you get to people.
Well, he's in a room here. What's he looking at?
Priest Valen. I think that has some meaning for him.
Your friend can't look me in the eye. That's not an admirable characteristic.
No one can look you in the eye, Bill. Not when you're playing cards.
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 That's the Irish accent there. He gets into a fight with the ball guy.
Whites are racist. Well, they're racist to people of other races. They're racist to themselves.
Oh,
this is West.
This was
it's a
the
gentleman's
English,
game. Make a gentleman's
English and the Irish.
I'm betting
large.
large.
They're both
that
white.
Ain't large.
Bill was he was a nativist guy.
There you go. He stuck a knife in the middle of the guy's hand. Stuck to the
Please don't make that noise again, Hart.
Yeah.
Oh God, that must hurt so much.
I like a man who's willing to burn for his swag.
He never took the knife out either.
No, he
How do you fare on water? Come closer. Close, John. I ain't gonna bite. Close.
Ooh, between the balls. Out.
There's a Portuguese ship lying low in the harbor.
Would they have to cut your
Quarantine
hand
3
off?
weeks. Get there before the
Go back
daybreak
then?
boys strip
Yeah,
him.
back-
Maybe
yeah,
you
you
and
go.
me will talk some more.
Consider it done, sir.
Good boy.
You'd have to put some alcohol on there immediately.
Yeah, but what are they? They're going to know this back in Gangs of New York time, New York, 1880, whatever this is.
1840.
This is 1840.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
18.
Yeah, that's right. It was 1840 because it was the end. The movie ends with the
1845, I think.
U.S. government just killing
the
everybody
end
with machine
the
guns.
end is that riot in New York City.
Yeah, and they come in, they bring in the guns and just
they have
kill
to bring in
everybody.
the army to put that down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to need an F-15 and a nuclear bomb.
I think I forgot the date. It was in the 1840s.
Take us on, you know.
Yeah.
Well, here, let's just out of nowhere, let's play Ronald
Reagan
and Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Just because.
Thank you, Dean. I'm pleased to be here tonight, honoring my very dear friend, Frank Sinatra. I must say that when this program was being planned, the producer hadn't decided what political figures would participate.
Sure.
It was a choice between me and Governor Brown.
Wasn't
and I lost again. But seriously, this is Frank Sinatra's night, and I'm here out of gratitude. Frank worked for me in all my campaigns. He was with me all the way to the governor's mansion. Without his help, who knows?
They were restricted.
I might have been president. It's my considered opinion that the two gentlemen who flanked me would make quite a political ticket. Frank as president, Dean as his crawling mate. Why would Frank Sinatra make a good president? Well, let's look at the facts. He has many friends, and I'm sure he'd appoint only the most qualified to his cabinet. Who better than Sammy Davis, Jr., as Secretary of Health, Education, and Jewelry? Of course, in politics, there's always gossip and ugly rumors. I'm happy to expose one for the falsehood that it is. He has not granted a Pizza Hut franchise at Camp David. It'll be in the White House, where it belongs. Frank Sinatra will make a president who is strong on defense, but again will have concern for humanity. Scientists at his urging have developed an intercontinental ballistics missile that is not a weapon of mass destruction. It only hits photographers. I asked him what he thought of the energy bill. He didn't hesitate a second. He said, pay it. Frank is innovative. His mind is always working. But he's also willing to admit when he's wrong.
You'd have to show
Like
it to me.
wanting a comic like Pat Henry to open for him when he addresses the joint session of Congress. And he realized, speak to Congress, the real comics are in the audience. He won't have any trouble with Congress. They'll pass all the legislation he sends over just to get his autograph. And he'll settle that canal business, too. Panama wants a canal, he'll give them Venice. As you probably gathered by now, I think Frank Sinatra would make a fine president. But I don't know whether we can get him to run. Is it worth it if you have to give up being a king?
That's funny. Ronald Reagan was good, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I
he
did
does his
enjoy him.
roast very politely.
Yeah, classy man.
Yeah, he's
not like Bluto.
I heard Delta's the worst
Oh,
house
yeah.
on campus.
Oh, you're playing. Oh,
The short one.
Excuse me, sir, is this the Delta house? Sure.
he turns around and leaks on him.
This is all over the shoes.
Eggs everywhere.
Yeah, shaking their shoes off on the stairs as they're walking into the house. The house is full of kegs.
The smell
Porch
must-
is full of kegs.
The stench must be unbelievable.
Rebel brew. Don't cost nothing.
All drinks free of charge.
That was a great entrance scene there, and the bottle gets tossed, smashed behind their heads.
Yeah.
Let's put Bobby on.
How are you, boy? You
background
too
here.
Oh.
stupid to do what your coach tells you?
Jerry Reed.
Jerry Reed.
No.
Uh-oh.
No what?
You saw Jerry Reed's face. in
This
it.
medulla oblongata. 390. Check. Check. Red 18. Red 18. Needle dick. Needle dick. Needle dick. Yeah! You're
name is Rita Dick.
I knew that this was a good idea.
He was pretty good at night shift. He was in
Looks like Boucher knocked him out cold.
Yeah.
I love my mama very much. Now you know that.
You can't leave your feet to tackle like that, can you?
I forbid you to talk to that enchantress. She's the devil.
Kathy Gates.
Not the devil. She's the most beautiful woman in the world.
I never said she was the
listening.
devil.
She's the most beautiful woman in the world. Oh, please don't hurt me.
Oh, my God. Come on. You crazy man. Okay. Safe. They win.
Yeah, but the Mud Dogs have played a sensational
tackling
football
like those guys in
Let's
Madden.
take a look at the way
Just
Boucher
takes care of it
ended the
right away.
Hawkeyes last
You
drive.
play Madden?
Here we see Boucher instantly
I never, my guys
penetrating
can never
the
tackle that well.
I've been playing Madden with Ben.
You eat a sandwich while you're beating him?
It's all over.
I'm beating him consistently, but he's getting a little better.
Difficult to watch, Chris.
I could play you sometime. We should play each other sometime.
Gatorade not only quenches your thirst better, it tastes better.
You have to be able to read the plays.
You're drinking the wrong water.
I love it because it makes me feel like I'm a coach or something.
So many years of practice.
It's just a lot of armchair quarterbacking.
Yeah, I remember the last time. It's not the plays. It's hard, right?
It really sucks.
I don't want to get him hooked
I was playing my friend Randy once, and I was like rushing as fast, hitting the buttons with all get out, and he was just as quarterback, doing circles, waiting for me to arrive. And
I know you start to understand how the game thinks, and then
he knew it, and so it's like, you know that. It's like it's not even worth playing this.
Yeah, that's a structural problem you have.
Well, only one of you got time to jerk me around there.
Are you saying that you don't want him to have any more hobbies?
Like a big choo-choo train.
10 yards.
All right, well,
that's that football there.
That's enough football, I guess, for
what
the
else
day.
We got for football?
We didn't talk about the
Brett Favre.
We didn't talk about the Dodgers and Steve Garvey and Don Sutton.
Oh yeah, we got to do Steve Garvey. Let's hit the yeah. Let's play a moment out of this really corny interview he did.
I'd like to hear more about the dispute between those two guys.
Let's play this corny interview first, so you just get a sense of Steve Garvey.
What are you doing now? Well, we're here at the Nappy Convention. Fawn Hall and I are co-hosts of a new series of one-hour specials called Tickets to a Dream.
Is that?
Which is stories about the people that have won over $1 million in the lottery and how it's affected their lives. And for many of them, it's been adverse effect. For many others, it's been, again, a dream come true. So it's a good, solid special, again, of tremendous influence and interest to people around the country.
Well, it's definitely an interest to me, and I know it will be to our viewers in New Orleans, because we often wonder, you hear about all the hype, people won the lottery, but you never hear what happens afterwards. That's right. And that's what you all go into and discover.
Yeah, it's quite an education as to how money really affects people's lives and their thinking when they've gone from normal means to now a very rich situation.
Well, that's it. We're going to be right back.
Okay, so there's that little softball interview he's doing there, and now here's the dirt with him and Don Sutton.
Yeah.
On August 20th, 1978, in the visitors' clubhouse at Shea Stadium, Dodger blue becomes black and blue when Steve Garvey confronts teammate Don Sutton about a Washington Post story in which the pitcher is critical of him. Part of the story, written by Thomas Boswell, quoted Sutton as saying, "All you hear about on our team is Steve Garvey, the All-American boy. But Reggie Smith was the real MVP. We all know it. Smith has carried us the last 2 years. He is not a facade. He does not have the Madison
was a
Avenue
great
image.
player.
Garvey wasn't a facade either, though.
After the right-hander confirms he had
Garvey
made the comments,
performed when he had
the
to.
argument becomes physical when an inappropriate remark is made about the first baseman's wife.
Cindy.
The Dodgers still beat the Mets 5-4.
Pulling the train?
After the game, Garvey sported numerous scratches and cuts on his face and a bloodshot eye. Sutton had a large bruise on his cheek.
Oh, no.
That sounds
You can
like
check out his story on
this we're
thisdayinbaseball.com by clicking.
Thisdayinbaseball.com. It was August, but yeah, there we go. So there was Don Sutton. Garvey get the Garvey.
I didn't know there was such discord, but the Dodgers were getting frustrated because they kept losing to the Yankees in the World Series, and they didn't get that team never got a championship until 1981.
Yes, and that was the Fernando Valenzuela.
Yes,
leading the charge there.
Fernando Mania.
Yeah. Here's some of this is what we're.
What's going on? And Frank's getting honked at, aren't you, Frank? He's getting honked at, and we're like, what's going on? And it's just guys rolling down their window, just going, Frank the Tank. What's going on? Frank's getting honked at, aren't you, Frank? He's getting honked at, and we're like, what's going on? And it's just guys rolling down their window, just going, Frank the Tank.
He's just become very cool in his old age.
He's exploding. Like literally, he's blowing up. I mean, he's not blowing up. He's getting thinner and he's blowing up. Yeah, look at that great picture.
Yeah,
there.
he is. He's getting thinner and he's blowing up.
Positive vibes only. But
that thing he's wearing, looks kind of baggy on him now.
Yeah, his jerseys, and he bites the holes in them.
He's going to have to get all new clothes.
Yeah, well, he has to wear them out anyway.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah.
But good to see Tank. I mean, he put in his time. He put in his dues. He put up with Mark. I think that made him a better broadcast. I think that made him a better...
it certainly conditions you to be able to react to all sorts of stress and unpredictable situations.
Yeah, and be able to think your way through it and then blow up appropriately in a very funny way.
Yeah.
Because Frank's meltdowns were classic, legendary. Some of his meltdowns there against Mark. And Mark just knew how to bring it out. But, there's always going to be somebody from Boston doing that to you.
Yeah. Everybody can't love him.
Yeah. But it just, at the end of the day, it just doesn't matter.
That's right. Everybody just keep this in perspective.
Doesn't mean it's all over.
Particularly whatever you do today, as long as you don't hurt anybody, cause any property damage.
The attitude we don't need,
Phil.
Sure, Mohawk has beaten us 12 years in a row. Sure, they're terrific athletes. They've got the best equipment that money can buy. Hell, every team they're sending over here has their own personal masseuse. Not masseur. Masseuse. But it doesn't matter. Do you know that every Mohawk competitor has an electrocardiogram, blood and urine tests every 48 hours to see if there's any change in his physical condition? Do you know that they use the most sophisticated training methods from the Soviet Union, East and West Germany, and the newest Olympic power, Trinidad Tobago? But it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. I tell you, it just doesn't matter! 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 It just doesn't matter!
Those are the players we were discussing the Yankees earlier.
We win if we win! Ha! Even if we win! Even if we play so far over our heads that our noses bleed for a week to 10 days, even if God in heaven above comes down and points his hand at our side of the field, even if every man, woman, and child held hands together and prayed for us to win, it just wouldn't matter, because all the really good-looking girls would still go out with the guys from Mohawk because they got all the money. It just doesn't matter if we win or we lose. It just doesn't matter. 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 It just
Who wins the NBA title this year? Because my team is not competing.
I'm actually for the Suns. So this was Bill Murray's Animal House moment. You know, the Germans bombing Pearl Harbor. This was his John Belushi.
Well, he was also in Stripes and Caddyshack.
Yeah, but he didn't have a moment like this. It just doesn't matter.
Oh.
Does it?
I don't know. I'm trying to think about Caddyshack.
But Bluto has we already played the Toga. So that was his. This is where, maybe everyone else forgets about this, but I watched Meatballs. I saw it. It was a lousy movie, but I thought this was one of the best moments in the film, actually.
It was.
It just doesn't matter.
Speaking of
matters, eating contests. Going on today. It's the 4th of July.
Yeah. Joey Chestnut, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Definitely don't want to see the whole thing of this.
No, I tried to watch a few moments of it.
You can.
Yesterday,
if you had to pick a food to eat in an eating contest, what would it be? I don't think it would be gyros. No.
Looking through the detritus to determine who actually won.
2 minutes or something.
Coming in second for the ladies and 6th overall with 13 1/2. Nikos, Euros, Michelle Lesko.
10 minutes, I think.
Okay, so girl.
10 minutes or something.
Yeah, she's girl 13.
That's a lot. That girl 8.
With 16 1/2. From New Orleans, Louisiana, Adrian Morgan.
He's a normal
in a tie for 3rd. With 18 Nikos, Euros in 10 minutes. Jeffrey Esper and Mickey Sudo. Round of applause.
That's a lot.
Matt, Joey. Go Matt!
I think Joey Chestnut ate 38 Big Macs in 30 minutes.
This was a battle of the Titans.
So gyros are not as hard.
This was a battle that called on every ounce of bravery and courage. One of these eaters had 28 1/2 Nikos, Euros in 10 minutes. The other eater had 30 Nikos, Euros in 10 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, regaining his title,
I'm going to go throw up now. Thank you.
I wish I had gyros for lunch.
No, I'm okay. I'm full just watching that. I'm full for the rest of my life now.
Yeah, so I don't know what else to talk about in football. Did you have anything else?
Let's still talk about the Denver Broncos acquiring. But it's useless.
Acquiring who? Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers.
Well, that might actually work.
Continues to be speculated about, but who knows what's going to happen.
That could really help Denver, yeah.
In other news, Reggie Bush was turned down after requesting that the Heisman Committee reinstate his Heisman. Was turned down. So, continued unfairness there by the Heisman Committee, especially in light of the Supreme Court's ruling.
Oh.
And changes happening today that will make his behavior perfectly fine. His parents, they got a house.
It's kind of the way it goes.
I know. That's NFL. Well, it's not. It was college. NCAA. That's some USC football there. How about some dodgeball?
Yeah, I'd like to see this on TV.
Jim ready?
I don't know if we had all the rules they had, though. I was trying to figure this entire clip out. Well, yeah, You'll see.
And the championship match is underway.
So they all have their balls. You get hit by it, or they have to throw you out.
Quick elimination there for Kate Beach.
See, it hit him on the head, but they caught it.
It's caught. That's a catch.
You're out, LaFleur.
Peter LaFleur has got to sit down, and Joe's has lost their two best players early. White Baumgarten's still playing hard. Hits Michelle Joe right on the dome.
You're my next time.
Oh, right in the tuchus. 2-1 SA, and Globo Jim is dominating.
No.
Nice Steve.
I don't know what that was all about, but it leaves Joe's on the wrong side of a 4-2 advantage. Joe's gets an elimination. It's 2-on-3. Get out!
Lose your temper, Gordon. Get mad. Even Root.
White Goodman with a catch. Gordon Viv goes out. Michelle Jones comes back in.
Okay.
Well, it's all up to Average Joe's youngest member. He's got to make a
So
play here.
it's 3 to get 4-1.
4 Cobras and
There's
1
Lumber
Joe.
from
Even a
Office Space.
rabid mongoose wouldn't have a chance now.
Justin Long
Nice
dropping.
dodge.
He was in Die Hard.
Mm-hmm.
In the Die Hard.
Oh, they're just toying with the young man now.
He's got to
He was
avoid
in the
getting
Mac
hit here,
versus
Cotton.
DC commercial.
That's the key.
Wasn't he a Mac?
Wow. He caught it. The guy's out. Now, how come Shoe's able to come off and catch it? I think it's because when somebody you catch somebody's throw, maybe the rule is that frees up one of your men. If you don't decide to get rid of one of their men,
and then they got a catch. Oh, wow.
Joni loves Chachi.
Joni loves Chachi. That was a great line.
Yeah, of course you get all the good lines.
What a sport.
What a sport. What a sport. Joni loves Chachi.
Joni loves Chachi.
It's going to be one of the worst TV shows ever. Here, let's put some Joe Namath on.
Booth, you had a very excellent day.
I'm trying to get everything in here.
Yeah.
Under
But
the
thank
wire.
you. We did have
It's
a good day
11:01.
for a change. Most of the game,
he's
though, was
wearing a
dictated by
Rams
our
uniform.
defense. Offensively, we got off to a pretty good start and got some points on the board. But offensively, we did get a bit complacent in the second half because our defense was doing so well, and
We're into
we got a
overtime.
bit more conservative. But we're sure happy
By
with the
a
win.
Fred
Joe, I think you
Dreyer.
should have your defense, or your offense rather, take a break next week because they played basically all of the football game. You threw as well as I've seen you throw in your career. And the word is, give Joe Namath protection. He will burn you.
We're throwing okay early, but I got
Namath with the
conservative
Rams.
in the latter part
No,
of the
this
throwing
is
and started
very
trying
end
to
of his
not make a
very end.
mistake, and that was the big problem with the throwing later. But the defense did the job, and here's Freddie. Freddie can tell you about the defense and the stunts that we did to use today. Freddie, tell us about the
Okay, right now?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't give him any points. We played very well. And how do I look, by the way?
Very well, Freddie. And now if you just talk, batter boy.
Hello.
Oh, I love Don Crippen.
Freddie, Emerson Boozer. Hi, Em. Normally, when you're coming off the rush, you're very quick coming off the line. You normally get the extra back setting back there. If you after you beat your
That
tackle.
damn guy was back there all day. We ran stunts. Larry and I, the whole front four decided, well, if we
I
can't get
never
to them
even thought
individually
that.
because they keep
You
60
always seem
protection
very
back
macho
there.
to
I'm
me.
sure you know what that is, Em.
I think I recall.
Kinda
Keep those
reminds
big
me
old
of Jim
fat halfbacks
McMahon.
and then they block us. So they did
You
a
know?
good job of picking us up all
There's a
day. So
resemblance
after Ronnie
there.
had a short set, and he got the
Just
he
like
got
that
rid of the
other
ball pretty well.
resemblance I
How
noticed on
effective is that
Facebook, which I don't
on
know
a
if you
defensive end?
comment
After you
on.
beat your
You
tackle,
know
which is a
Carl,
much bigger
that
man,
gay- the
that
gay
sets a
player
little
Carl,
pesky running back.
Seb looks like.
It's aggravating. I think that the biggest
no,
thing you
no.
do, you
Who's that,
prepare
Carl?
yourself all week to
From
play
No, he
against
looks
a big guy.
exactly
The guy I
like
played
Gronk.
against was very good, and he's very big. And next thing, after you beat him, after
that?
finally in the third quarter, you get to where you're
Carl
maybe
and the
getting some leeway with that
And they
guy.
were
You
both
got a
on
little
the
back in there,
Bucks,
buzzing
so
around
they were
your
both.
feet. And
I
I
got
don't like
pictures
that
of them
myself.
both in
Freddie, you don't
Tampa Bay
meet the
uniforms.
Philadelphia Eagles anymore this season. What did you expect
Yeah.
from their offensive unit?
Oh, he was born in
Well,
1946.
Ronnie is an
Fred
emotional
Dreyer
type of guy, and he does a hell of a job getting
Yeah.
rid of the ball quick
No,
and
he's
running
in his
deep
70s.
crossing patterns. He's done that all the preseason, and he did that here against us in the preseason. We
you know what the
expected that.
NFL
We
announced this
thought
week.
they'd run a little bit more, but Joe...
If he is
what?
gay, it's okay. The NFL said, they said, I'm going to repeat verbatim what it said. It said, the NFL is gay. NFL is gay.
Well, it's just doing whatever it can to support the guy that came out.
Yeah. Yeah, and the 17 others that I mentioned last week.
That were involuntarily outed?
Well, or that were, yeah, not involuntarily, but it
By
came out
Abe
after.
Miranda?
Came out by after. Yeah, that Abe outed.
I do feel bad talking about this without him. He's kind of like our expert on the whole thing.
On the gay NFL?
On the gay integration of the NFL.
Uh-huh.
The integration of the NFL.
Integration. Well, the NFL came out and said they're gay.
Speaking
so.
of gay, we can
Integration,
go out
yeah.
with Beyond the Sea with Kevin Spacey.
Well, let's play this and then we'll talk one more time. So creepy seeing Kevin Spacey now.
Splish Splash.
It's gonna be the biggest star in show business.
Bing bang, I saw the whole gang dancing on my living room.
Like Bobby Darin.
Flip flop, they were doing the bop.
You think so?
Yeah.
What's that on his head?
could tell he really liked this role.
It's a toupee, let it out.
Oh, speaking of toupees.
I was a teen idol for about a minute and a half, but Mama's plan was to be bigger than Sinatra. I wanted to do the great standards, but my producer thought I was nuts to turn
Bobby
my back
Darin
on
had
rock and
quite a
roll.
few hits. He was hot for a while.
Bobby, teenagers aren't going to buy an album of you singing standards.
Oh, no, Ahmed, you're
Good
talking out of
Beyond
your
the
ass
Sea.
again. How do you know what teenagers are going to buy? What, do you got his crystal ball back?
I've been in this business long enough to know that you don't change your image when you're hot like this.
Okay, then you're right. You know what? I don't want teenagers to be my only audience, so that's perfect.
Why can't you be satisfied? You just did bandstand.
Bandstand's mostly for kids. Ahmed, I want the Copa.
Bobby,
Listen, with rock and roll, I'm
please
like 1,000 other guys out there, and you goddamn well know it. I got to prove I can sing. I want it all. I want the major leagues. I want nightclubs. I want Vegas, movies, TV. This album will make it happen all fast,
Bobby
faster than you can imagine.
You don't have to prove anything. You're a star already.
Is that what you think, Ahmed?
Of course.
Hang on a second. Hey, kid! Hang on
Bobby.
a second. Kid!
I don't have time for this, Bobby.
Come here.
What's up?
I just got a question. Will you do me a favor? Will you look at me?
What?
Just look at me.
The male guy.
Do you know me?
What?
What?
Do you recognize me?
What are you talking about?
Do I look familiar to you?
No, you don't. I don't know you. Would you leave me alone, you crazy bastard? I got things to do.
Thanks, pal.
Yeah, Stacy ain't sell me.
Ahmed, when the delivery guy knows me, then I'm a star.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll have to leave Popeye on the cutting room floor.
Sorry. Everything didn't make it in, but you did an admirable
job.
job.
Was long there. So cut that.
So what do you want to finish with? Dream Lover? This is the real Bobby Darin, by the way, coming up.
Yeah.
One of his best songs.
So that was a hairpiece he's wearing on the album cover. All right.
Well, who cares? You look good in it.
All right, any parting words here? It's 4th of July, Chabdog. We're working on a holiday.
Be careful today and tonight. Don't do anything stupid. If
you blow your fingers up, put them on ice. They can sew them back on.
And
This is
stay
Wacky
away
Hot
from
Mess, so it's a
Bill
public
Butcher.
service announcement.
Stay away from Bill the Butcher. He'll put a knife through the middle of your hand.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Good luck to both teams in the NBA Finals. I'm going with the Suns, obviously, and maybe 5 or 6.
I'll take the Suns in 6.
Yeah,
Suns
6
in
seems
6.
to be
6
the
Suns.
and because the Bucks have a little fight in them, but without the G-Man, I don't think there's much hope. Really. And let's see what happens in Wimbledon. I haven't even been following it, so all I know is I don't know. I think all the top seeds are still in. I don't know for sure in the men's side.
Well, Venus
Williams lost.
Yeah,
Serena Williams lost.
She's out. Maybe we see some new faces this time. Maybe you don't care.
I don't particularly. I think Djokovic looks probably too strong to be beaten.
You tortured me with tennis all these years, and now you don't care
I know
anymore.
it's your own fault. You didn't promote it. You just let it die.
Yeah,
it's a natural death.
Yeah,
it could come back if I see something interesting, particularly on the men's side. But
until that happens, until they do something exciting, let's just ignore them.
Yeah,
teach them a lesson.
All right, I gotta go.
Happy July 4th. Happy Independence Day, everybody.
Happy July 4th.
And thanks
to
Sports.
Thank
Frank
you for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Yes. Thank you, Frank the Tank. Thank you, Abe
Miranda,
Eric the Well Read, and
the
Wacky Hot Mess.
There we go.
And then that's all I have to say. There's Bobby Darin.
Every night I hope and pray a dream lover will come my way, a girl to hold in my arms and know the magic of her charms. 'Cause I want a girl to call my own. I want a dream lover so I don't have to dream alone. Dream lover, where are you? With a love oh so true, and the hand that I can hold, feel you near as I grow old. 'Cause I want a girl to call my own. I want a dream lover so I don't have to dream alone. Someday I don't know how flee. Some way, I don't know how, she'll bring her love to me. Dream lover, until then, I'll go to sleep and dream again. That's the only thing to do, till all my lover's dreams come true. 'Cause I want a girl to call my own. I want a dream lover, so I don't have to dream alone. Dream lover, until then, I'll go to sleep and dream again. That's the only thing to do, till all my lover's dreams come true. 'Cause I want a girl